I spent years trying to win her over. Then I found out she cheated on me with the one guy she told me not to worry about. I, 28M, have known Leah, 27F, since college. We weren't close at first. I was the funny friend in the group, kind of a background character, and she was always dating some athletic finance bro or artsy musician guy. I had a quiet crush on her for years, but I never said anything. She was out of my league. Or so I thought. Fast forward to after college, we both moved to the same city and reconnected. Grabbed coffee here and there. Casual stuff. But I started noticing that she'd actually listen when I talked. Laugh at my dumb jokes. She even once said, "I wish I could find a guy like you." That sentence should be illegal, by the way. But I was patient. I didn't want to be that guy. So I waited. I became her friend. Her safe space. The person she called when her latest situationship blew up. And slowly, over time, we got closer. Closer than I expected. Then one night, after too much wine and a movie on her couch, she kissed me. I'll never forget it. It felt like every stupid love song finally made sense. The relationship. We started dating. Officially. Exclusively. After years of pining, I finally had the girl I'd dreamed about. At first, it was amazing. We traveled. We made playlists for each other. She met my mom. We talked about moving in. I thought, this is it. This is what it's supposed to feel like. But there was one thing that always made my stomach twist, her best friend Tyler. Tyler was the artsy musician guy from college. The one she used to date on and off. The one she swore was just a friend now. She'd tell me, "It's ancient history, babe. You have nothing to worry about." And like an idiot, I believed her. The clues I ignored. She'd go out for drinks with friends and come back oddly quiet. She started hiding her phone screen when texting. She laughed a little too hard at Tyler's Instagram stories. She once called him sweetheart in front of me, then brushed it off like it was nothing. Said it was a joke between friends. I didn't press. I didn't want to seem insecure. I didn't want to be controlling. How I found out. A week ago, she left her laptop open. I wasn't snooping. I just needed to check my email while mine was charging. When I opened a new tab, her iMessages popped up. And there it was. A conversation with Tyler. Explicit. Ongoing. Emotional and physical. She told him she missed their nights. That she couldn't stop thinking about him when she was in bed with me. That she felt guilty, but not enough to stop. I sat there for 10 minutes, just staring. Not breathing. Not thinking. Just dying inside. What I did. I didn't confront her right away. I printed out the conversation. Booked a hotel. Packed a bag. Left the printed messages on the kitchen table with a sticky note that said, "You told me not to worry about him. I should have worried about you." I turned off my phone for 48 hours. When I turned it back on, she had left 37 texts and 12 missed calls. She didn't mean to. She was confused. She still loved me. She made a mistake. No. She made a series of choices. Over and over. Behind my back. While I was planning our future. The aftermath. It's been 5 days. I haven't responded. I won't. I feel stupid. Not for loving her, but for putting her on a pedestal. For thinking I won something when I finally got her. The truth is, I was never chosen. I was a placeholder. Comfortable. Safe. Someone she could build a life with while still craving the chaos of someone else. And that hurts more than anything. 6 months after she cheated, she reached out. I finally got the closure I didn't know I needed. 6 months. That's how long it's been since I found out that Leah was cheating on me with the one guy she told me not to worry about. Since I packed my things, left a printed transcript of their messages on the kitchen table, and walked out of the life I spent years building with her. And honestly, I'm doing better now. Not amazing, not thriving like some Instagram influencer who turned heartbreak into hustle. But better. I go to therapy. I journal. I joined a climbing gym. I started rebuilding the version of myself I let get buried under the weight of trying to win someone who never truly wanted me the way I wanted her. Then, last week, she texted. "Can we talk?" My first instinct was to block her. I had spent months detoxing from her presence, deleting photos, unfollowing mutuals, silencing her name in my phone so it wouldn't ruin my day if she posted something. I didn't want to open old wounds. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. I said. "What do you want to talk about?" She replied. "Closure. For both of us." I agreed. Reluctantly. We met at a small coffee shop downtown on a rainy Wednesday. She looked tired. Not bad, just worn out. Like someone who hadn't really slept in weeks. The conversation. She apologized. Not the vague, "I'm sorry you were hurt," kind. A real apology. She told me she hated herself for what she did. That she never stopped loving me, but also never stopped craving the attention and nostalgia that came with Tyler. That being with him reminded her of a version of herself that didn't feel so trapped. I just listened. And then I told her something I never got to say before. "You didn't break me by cheating. You broke me by making me feel like I finally mattered, then proving I never really did." She started crying. I didn't. She asked if I hated her. I told her no. That I'm learning not to carry anger anymore. It's too heavy, and I need the space. Then she asked something I didn't expect. "Do you think there's ever a chance? In the future, I mean." I took a long breath and said. "I think I deserve someone who never needed to choose me. Because they never doubted I was the one." We hugged. It was long. Familiar. Sad. Then I walked away, and I haven't heard from her since. Where I am now. I'm not going to pretend I'm completely healed. Sometimes I still think about the life we almost had. The trips we never took. The apartment we were going to move into. The playlist we never finished. But I also think about the person I'm becoming. Someone with boundaries. With peace. With more respect for himself than ever before. And if she was my chapter about longing, betrayal, and heartbreak, maybe my next chapter is about someone who chooses me without hesitation. Someone I don't have to earn. After heartbreak, I finally met someone who didn't make me feel like I had to prove I was worthy. If you followed my story, I spent years chasing a girl, got her, and then found out she cheated on me. You know, the last year of my life felt like pulling glass out of my chest with my bare hands. But this post isn't about the pain. It's about what came after. Her name is Claire. We met at a bookstore. Yeah, seriously. A real-life, movie scene type moment that I would have rolled my eyes at 6 months ago. I was standing in front of the same shelf for 10 minutes, debating whether I really needed another Murakami novel I wouldn't understand. She walked up, looked right at me, and said, "I don't know if you're looking for meaning or escapism, but that one, points to Kafka on the Shore, will ruin your weekend in the best way." I laughed. For the first time in days, it was real. We talked for 15 minutes about books, movies, coffee, dogs, all the easy, safe things strangers talk about. Then she smiled and said, "This feels like a, you should ask for my number, kind of moment." Reader, I did. What's different? From the start, Claire was open. Honest. Soft, but never fragile. She asked me questions and actually listened, not just to reply, but to understand. I told her, eventually, about what I'd been through. About Leah. About the betrayal. The slow rebuild. She didn't flinch. She didn't pity me. She just said, "You didn't deserve that. But I'm glad you're still open to love." Claire doesn't make me guess. She doesn't hide her phone. She doesn't bring up exes to stir jealousy or test boundaries. If something's wrong, she says it. If something's right, she says that too. We take long walks. We cook together. We share playlists, and actually finish them. She doesn't feel like a high I'm chasing. She feels like rest. The moment I knew. Last week, we were sitting on my couch, and she fell asleep on my shoulder mid-movie. I muted the TV and just sat there, holding her, realizing, I wasn't anxious. I wasn't wondering if she was texting someone else. I wasn't performing. I was just, there. In the moment. With her. Safe. Wanted. Seen. And I started to cry. Not because I was sad. But because I had no idea how loud the silence of peace could be after surviving chaos. To anyone still healing. I know what it's like to feel like you're not enough. To think you have to fight for someone's love, to earn basic respect. But love doesn't feel like constant anxiety. It doesn't make you question your worth. It doesn't leave you begging for crumbs and calling it affection. The right person doesn't make you feel like you have to audition. They just choose you. Every day. Without drama. Without games. Just love. Quiet, steady, real. I cheated on the best man I ever knew. Now he's in love with someone else, and I can't stop thinking about what I lost. I know I probably deserve every angry comment this gets, and I'm not here to make excuses. I'm just trying to process something I can't really tell anyone in my real life. 6 months ago, I cheated on my boyfriend. He was kind, loyal, and safe. The kind of man who made breakfast just because it was Monday. Who kissed my forehead even when I was being cold. Who asked how my day was, and actually cared. And I threw it away. For what? An old flame. A fling. A selfish moment of nostalgia that I confused for passion. The fallout. He found out. He left without yelling. No drama, no revenge. Just pain in his eyes and a printed copy of my messages with the other guy, left on the kitchen table like a gravestone for our relationship. I tried to call. I begged to talk. I even asked if we had a future. He told me no. That he needed peace. That he deserved more. And honestly, he was right. Then I saw him again. Not in person. Through a mutual friend's story on Instagram. He was laughing, a real, effortless laugh I hadn't seen in a long time. Sitting across from a girl with curly hair, glasses, and the softest smile I've ever seen. They looked happy. Natural. Like two puzzle pieces that just fit. I clicked through more posts than I should have. There they were at a bookstore. At a coffee shop. Walking her dog. He looked lighter. Softer. Free. It shattered me in a way I didn't expect. The regret. I used to think he was boring. Predictable. Too safe. What I didn't realize was that safety isn't boring, it's rare. It's beautiful. And I had it. And I broke it. Tyler, the guy I cheated with, ghosted me 2 weeks after it all came out. Said he didn't want drama. No surprise. Now I fall asleep alone. And every night, I wonder what it would feel like to be the woman he holds now. To be chosen again, not because I'm comfortable, but because I'm enough. What I wish I could say. If you ever read this, and I doubt you will, I just want to say. I'm sorry I hurt you. I didn't cheat because you lacked anything. I cheated because I lacked everything: maturity, self-awareness, gratitude. You were never a consolation prize. You were the win. And I lost you. I hope she treats you the way you always deserved. And I hope you never have to question your worth again. My ex tried to ruin my happiness, again. I didn't expect her to come back. After everything she did, cheating, lying, gaslighting, I thought she'd at least have the decency to stay gone. But no. The moment she found out I had moved on, found peace, found someone who actually loved me, she came crawling back, pretending it was all a mistake. At first, it was subtle. A heart on one of my old Instagram photos. Then a message. I'm glad you're doing well. You always deserved happiness. I ignored it. Then came a follow request. Then another message. I miss our talks. Can we catch up sometime? Just as friends. I showed it to Emma, my girlfriend now. She laughed. She smells your happiness and wants to destroy it, she said. She was right. The next message was less friendly. I see you're pretending again. You can't really be happy with her. You and I had something real. Don't throw it away because of a stupid mistake. A stupid mistake. That mistake was sleeping with my best friend for 3 months behind my back. That mistake broke me. That mistake made me lose sleep, confidence, trust in others. I blocked her. But she didn't stop. She messaged Emma. I found out when Emma showed me the screenshot. Hey girl. Just thought you should know, he still texts me. Be careful. People don't really change. My hands were shaking. Emma looked me dead in the eyes and said, do you? I answered truthfully. No. I haven't said a word to her since I blocked her number. I showed you every message before that. Emma nodded. Just checking. I believe you. God, I love this woman. But the situation pissed me off. My ex cheated, lied, destroyed a friendship, broke my trust, and now she was trying to ruin the one good thing I had left. No. So I took screenshots. Every message she sent. Every unwanted follow. Every attempt at contact. I sent them all to a lawyer friend of mine. I didn't want to go nuclear, but I wanted to know my options. He told me if it continues, we could file for a restraining order. That was enough for now. I posted a story on Instagram, not directed at her, but public enough. It was just a picture of me and Emma, holding hands in the sunlight, smiling. The caption: sometimes the right people come after the wrong ones leave. Petty? Maybe. But healing sometimes needs a little fire. She hasn't messaged me since. I finally exposed my ex, and she lost everything. I thought she was finally gone. After the post, the blocked messages, and the warning from my lawyer friend, I thought that chapter was closed. But I underestimated just how far a bitter, manipulative ex can go when you're truly happy without them. Last week, Emma got a call from her boss. Apparently, someone had sent an anonymous email to the company HR department claiming that Emma was being unprofessional, involved with a client, and emotionally unstable. They attached random screenshots, heavily edited, obviously, of fake conversations between me and Emma. The timestamps were wrong. The grammar wasn't hers. And the weirdest part? Some of the screenshots had my old messages from years ago, repurposed and twisted. We knew immediately who it was. Nobody else would go to that kind of effort. Nobody else hated Emma that much. Nobody else had that specific combination of cruelty, desperation, and narcissism. I wasn't angry anymore. I was done. So I exposed her. I made a Reddit post under my real name, tagging it as a personal story. I shared screenshots of every message she had sent me after the breakup. Every fake message she sent to Emma. I blurred her name, but anyone who knew us, any of our mutual friends, would instantly recognize who she was. I didn't ask for pity. I didn't insult her. I just posted facts. It blew up. People started reaching out. Some of her old friends. A couple of her exes. Even someone she'd worked with. Turns out, she had a history of this, trying to sabotage people when they moved on without her. One of her ex-boyfriends DM'd me. "She did this to me too, bro. I lost a job because of her lies. Thank you for speaking out." And then it really hit. Her reputation tanked. A few friends of hers unfollowed her publicly. Her little photography business Instagram. Hundreds of comments calling her out, and she had to shut it down. She texted me from a new number. "Why would you do this to me? I never thought you'd be that cruel. You're ruining my life." I didn't reply. I forwarded it to my lawyer friend. He said, "Want to file the paperwork now?" "I'm thinking about it. Not out of spite, but because I'm done playing defense. I want peace. And I want her to know, this time, there's no coming back." Emma hugged me that night. "I'm proud of you," she whispered. And I finally, believed I was free. I proposed to the woman who helped me heal. They say when you know, you know. I used to think that was just something people said to romanticize relationships, to gloss over the hard work and make love sound like magic. But then I met Emma. And now I know. She met me at my lowest. She didn't just tolerate my broken pieces, she helped me pick them up, examine them, and decide which ones were worth keeping. She never rushed me. Never judged me. Never asked me to forget the past, only to believe that the future could be better. And it is. A few weeks after my ex tried to destroy our relationship, again, Emma and I took a trip to the coast. Just the two of us, no noise, no social media, no drama, just the ocean, long walks, morning coffee on the balcony, and peace. And somewhere in the middle of that silence, that warmth, that realness, I knew. I wanted to marry this woman. I spent the next 2 months quietly planning. I talked to her sister. I called her mom. I even got her best friend to help me figure out the ring. Something simple, elegant, a little vintage, just like her. I waited for the right moment. And it came last Sunday. We went to the park where we had our first real date, the one where we stayed out so long we got locked inside and had to hop the fence laughing like teenagers. I brought a blanket, a thermos of coffee, and that little black box burning a hole in my coat pocket. She was lying on the blanket, barefoot in the grass, hair tangled from the wind, reading a book. God, she was beautiful. I sat next to her. We talked. Laughed. Then I said, "Can I tell you something?" She looked up. Of course. I used to think love was supposed to hurt. That it was made of chaos and apologies and people leaving. But you've taught me that love can be calm. It can be safe. It can be home. She smiled, already tearing up. I got down on one knee. And I asked, "Emma, will you marry me?" She didn't speak at first, just nodded, and then tackled me in a hug so hard we both fell over. "Yes," she whispered. "God, yes." We stayed like that for a long time, laughing, crying, kissing, until the sun went down. It wasn't a grand proposal. No fireworks, no viral video. Just us, where it all began. And it was perfect. Later that night, she looked at me and said, "I wish the old you could see you now." I smiled. He'd never believe this was possible. But I do. Because I'm living it.